Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to jump into something that could fundamentally change how you use the internet every single day. AI is giving us this really rare opportunity to rethink the tools we take for granted, and it all starts with the browser. So let's just pause and think about it. For decades, our web browser has been our main window to the world, but its basic job hasn't really changed all that much. Now, with AI in the picture, we have to ask a pretty huge question. Could our browser be doing a whole lot more for us?
Think about how you use your browser right now. You're opening tabs, you're searching, clicking, copying text from one place, pasting it into another, you're juggling a bunch of windows. It's a tool for sure, but it's a pretty passive one, isn't it? It's really just a window that shows you what's on the other side.
But what if that changed completely? Imagine if your browser wasn't just this passive window, but an active partner. An intelligent assistant that actually understands what you're trying to do and helps you do it right there on whatever page you're on. That's the big shift we're exploring today. And this is exactly where something like ChatGPT Atlas enters the picture. It's an idea for a browser that's been built from the ground up to be that super assistant we were just talking about. So what is it really? Well, think of a web browser that has ChatGPT basically built into its DNA. The absolute key here is that the AI's intelligence comes with you wherever you go online. So no more flipping between tabs, no more copying and pasting into a separate chat window. It's designed to get the context of what you're looking at and help you right then and there.
And this quote here from an early tester named Yagya, who's a college student, just nails the practical side of this. Instead of, say, taking a screenshot of a lecture slide to ask ChatGPT a question, the browser already knows what's on the screen. It makes studying and learning so much more fluid. It seems like a small change, but it makes a huge difference in the flow of things.
Okay, so how does this all work in practice? Well, the first really big piece of the puzzle is memory. A truly useful assistant has to remember things, right? It needs to understand the context of what you're doing now, but also what you've been working on over time. And what's really cool is how simple the whole process is. Basically, as you browse the web, Atlas can, and this is important, with your permission, remember key pieces of information. Then, maybe hours or even days later, you can ask a follow-up question, and it can reach back into that memory to give you a much smarter, more relevant answer. And this is where it gets seriously powerful. Just imagine you've spent a week looking at different job sites. Instead of having to go back through your history and retrace every single step, you could just ask, hey, summarize the industry trends from all those postings I looked at. The browser uses its memory of what you saw to create something totally new and useful for you. That is a massive leap from a simple search history. But remembering is only half of it. The next giant step is actually taking action. This is where we go from a browser that just shows you information to a browser that does things for you. And this is where something called agent mode comes in. This dinner party example just perfectly shows the difference. That tangled mess on the left, that's the old way. We've all been there, right? Finding a recipe, then manually typing out ingredients, going to a grocery website, searching for each thing one by one. It's a chore. With agent mode, that entire workflow gets crushed down. You just give it the recipe and a simple goal, and the browser handles all those tedious steps for you. So the big takeaway here is this. Those really complex multi-step tasks, whether it's for work or for your personal life, can be boiled down to just one single request in plain English. It's all about delegating the entire process, not just asking for one little piece of information. Of course, anytime you start talking about an assistant that can remember things and act on your behalf, you got to talk about privacy and control. It's a huge deal, and it's clear that these controls were designed to be front and center from the very beginning. This chart here lays it all out really nicely. First off, you decide which websites ChatGPT can even see with just a simple toggle switch. The whole memories feature, totally optional. You can view them, you can delete them whenever you want. And this is a big one. Using your data to train the models is opt-in. It's turned off by default. You are absolutely in the driver's seat. And for agent mode, which is the most powerful part, there are some really specific safeguards built in. It cannot run code, it cannot download files, and it definitely cannot access your computer's local file system. It's also smart enough to pause and ask for your permission before it does anything on sensitive websites like your bank. These are super important guardrails to make sure it's acting safely for you. So, when you put all of this together, the context, the memory, the ability to act, you start to realize this isn't just about a new browser. It's really a peek into a whole new way of using our computers. A future where we can hand off all the tedious, routine stuff and free up our own time and brain power for the creative, strategic work that actually matters to us. And that really leaves us with this final, pretty powerful question. If all the boring tasks of searching and compiling and clicking are just handled for you, what new possibilities does that unlock? What kinds of problems will you solve? What amazing things will you build? It's a really exciting future to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.